Well, good morning, college, high school, and NFL football fans. What's going on, y'all? Happy show before Christmas episode of Mega 3 and Out right here on iSports Radio. Yo, directly for all that is sports. This is fun, man. I'm telling you, the Megas are really fun. We're enjoying these things. Because why not? Just put it all together, right? Put it all together, and at the end of the day, we got ourselves a pretty good show, right? So, episode 3 of Mega 3 and Out today. Well, we are going to go ahead and jump on into the final installment, if you will, of high school football for the season. One more game, basically, and that's it. We'll get our max prep rankings, and I think we know who the outright champion will be. But what's even more interesting is how will the rest of the top 10 be? How will the top 25 be going into next year? We shall see. Also, we're going to jump on in. Quick recap, since Ricky and Teran and myself went over all of our D2, D3, and the IA, picks. We'll go over those and our FCS semifinals and all that good stuff. But how about them Blue Dragons of Hutchinson? Did Hutch not get it done? Oh my gosh. We picked our Western. Well, we're keeping on Hutchinson. But man, what a game it was. Hutchinson comes back to win that thing. Great stuff. And week 16 of the NFL. Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. Playoffs are on the line. Speaking of playoffs, the college football playoff has begun. Notre Dame was the very first one, reigning supreme. Oh, it's going to be a jam-packed show. Hope you're ready, all great popcorn. It's going to be a show. You are now tuned in live to Mega 3 and Out, episode 3, right here on iSports Radio. You're directly for all of that sport.
Hi, eSports Radio fans. This show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, eSports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at iSports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making iSports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clanking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
And ain't that the truth, ladies and gentlemen? Get that mental health straight. Excuse me. Get that mental health straight. And of course, get on with them workouts, get on with them lifts, and get on with that strong life you lead. Ladies and gentlemen, huge announcement, of course, as always. My colleagues today started to get that out there a little bit for us. But just want to go ahead and throw it out. That was the first time we played that ad right now. I already know about that grind, yo. I'm up every freaking weekday morning, sometimes on the damn weekends, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., getting them lifts. I know what it's like, grinding it out, but I got goals. I had goals back then. I have goals now. I'm going to have goals in the future. And that's what it's all about, you guys. Getting in there, taking care of business, but at the same exact time, getting your mind right. We, of course, have partnered with Vital Apparel. Vital Apparel is awesome, guys. I'm waiting for my shirt to come in. I'm excited. I got my Iron Therapy shirt coming in because that's exactly what it is, guys. High school was not the easiest time for me. You know, parents were splitting and things were just kind of going on. Don't mean to get too personal there. But football was seriously my therapy, guys. I like to hit people to get out my frustration. And guess what? It got me into college, and I got a couple degrees. I'm excited for that and thankful for that. The weights continue to be a therapy because no matter what I do, those weights, they're a release of whatever frustrations may be happening. And that right there is how I clear my mind. How do you clear yours? Well, maybe it's through the gym as well. Maybe it's through meditation. Maybe it's through yoga class. Maybe it's through whatever it is you do. But mental awareness, you guys, mental health awareness is huge. After playing football for so long, trust me, there's a lot. Sometimes, unfortunately, brain injuries happen, things like that happen. So trying to get in the right state of mind, trying to always be healthy, trying to always have the mental health is huge. So I just want to throw that out there, you guys. Vital Apparel, amazing company. These guys looking out for mental health research. Of course, I mean, not going into like anything like CTE or anything, like I said, with like head injuries. But what I'm saying is sometimes, you can have issues after anything. Unfortunately, PTSD with the veterans or with bad relationships or things like that. So I'm just saying, guys, they're nothing shameful to talk about. And maybe that's what you got to do. Talk about them, get them out. However you cope with it, but always always take care of your mental health, guys, no matter what. So with that said, big ups to good old Vital Apparel. Awesome gear. Please pick you some up, guys, and use our code IESR. Get 15% off. I'm excited for my my iron therapy shirt. Super ready for that to come in and lift with that bad boy at 4 a.m., as you just heard me say right now. So with that said, you guys, shout out to them. Big ups to other sponsors, of course, as well. Planet Jerky, Premium Biscuit, Beef Jerky. We'll have a code, guys, announcement. We're going to have ourselves a Planet Jerky freaking code coming up, too. They're going to generate us one. And, be ready, guys, because you're going to get some Planet Jerky coming up with a discount as well, using our code coming in the coming weeks or so. And, of course, big shout out to Seal the Deal Wax Seals, my beautiful wife, doing her thing, making all them little seals for all those gifts, letters to Santa, all that good stuff. Still got time. Head on over to the website, iceworksradio.com/Seal the Deal Wax Seals. Get your little dollar wax stamp seals for the back of your letters or gifts. And then, of course, make sure to follow us everywhere on iSports Radio because we are freaking everywhere. Yeah. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help make this thing what we have been envisioning over the last 10 years, bringing you the latest in sports. So with that said, you guys, let's go ahead and bring in my boy, man. He, of course, is iSports Radio Hall of Famer, the host of Set Point, the host of the SoCal Spring Sports Show. Great show yesterday. And, of course, the host of this show, usually 3 and Out College Edition, but we're just going mega. He's combining it all. So, mega 3 and Out. Ladies and gentlemen, my boy, man, Mr. Teran Rodriguez. What's going on, man?
Hey, Larry B. Thank you for having me on. We're ready to talk some college football, high school football, and some NFL.
Teran, we got it all, man. We're going to be talking about it all. Unfortunately, I mean, I just beat getting sick, and now it's like it happened again. Great.
Yikes.
Yay. So, yeah, I'm trying to, fight it off, as you can tell. So, we're doing that, though. It's going to be okay. We're gonna get through it, and it's going to be good. So, with that said, you guys, let's go ahead and jump right into it, man. Follow my boy right here at Teran Rodriguez 1. That's right. At Set Point, his volleyball show, Set Point _IE, and of course at SoCal Show IESR. You can follow me about Larry B at the THEE_LB53. Follow the show 3 and Out CEIE for College Edition, and of course you can follow 3 and Out all spelled out IESR. Show us some love, man. Usually our boy Ricky's here with us. I didn't even tell him today, man. I was just like, yeah, crazy morning, so I just got chaotic. But our boy Ricky, man, make sure to give him a follow as well. So Teran, I don't even say them. Ricky Nader 555 and at NY State Sports IE. So with that said, Teran, this is it, dude. High school football is done. It's over. It's basically all done. All the games have been played, championships have been handed out, but there's one little championship, man. One little championship. It's the little one. It's a tiny championship. Kind of like we talked about, a couple days ago with Ricky. North Crowley just freaking climbing into the – I didn't even know who they were before the season started. Knocked off DeSoto in the regular season. Got into the final. Knocked off freaking Duncanville. Yeah, they deserve to be – what are they, number 3 right now, Teran?
Yes, they're number 3.
Yeah, they deserve it. And Westlake, who is this? Who are these guys? Well, guess what? They knocked off North Shore. Teran, if you look at the rankings, North Shore's not even in the top 25 no more, bro. They got knocked back. Crazy, right? But Westlake, here it comes, man. The two little teams that could today in that UIL 6A D1 final. This is it, Teran. North Crowley versus Westlake. I know we talked about it on Monday already with our boy Ricky K, but for the fans who didn't tune in, who are you taking and why?
Yeah, this matchup is going to be – well, I'm going to just say these two should be known as the bracket busters because I think everyone had Duncanville and North Shore in the championship. But, yeah.
Go ahead. No, that was me. I did it.
Yeah, everyone had North Shore and Duncanville in the final. So, yeah, you got to give credit where credit's due. Westlake really thumped North Shore, as I mentioned, and then North Crowley – just came in with clear eyes, full heart, and they can't lose. And they were able to stun Duncanville, which I don't think anybody would have predicted. So big ups to those teams. And they're playing at AT&T Stadium. And unlike the Dallas Cowboys, who just can't seem to win at AT&T Stadium unless they're playing the Giants, one team will be winning big at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, and it's going to be one of these guys. Unfortunately, these guys will have, Teran, one of these high schools are going to have a better game than they've had all year.
Yep.
Insert all the cowboy jokes here, guys. Insert. Go ahead. Plug them in. So with that said, Teran, it's going down, man. AT&T Stadium. They finally get a good game this year. They finally get a championship that's worth watching. They finally get a football team worth watching in the stadium. So good job. Good job. Let's go. I'm going to say, this is a hard one, Teran. Because they've been getting it all season, man. But, Teran, would you say that Westlake is the underdog in this game?
Well, the rankings pretty much say it. They're ranked 11th nationally, number 3 in Texas, while North Crowley is number 1 in Texas and number 3 nationally. So I would say Westlake is pretty much an underdog.
So wouldn't this be crazy fitting if the underdog beat the underdog?
Yes.
I mean, it just seems to be going that direction. I'm going to just continue to go with what I feel, and I'm going to say North Crowley. But, dude, if they somehow, some way, freaking, I don't know, dude. If somehow, some way, Westlake wins this game, it would be insane. It would be insane. So, I'm going with North Crowley. Who are you taking, Teran?
Yeah, I'll probably go with North Crowley as well. I think it'll be a close one. I think North Crowley's defense will be known as opposed to the previous game. I just hope for a really good game. I just hope we don't get like a blowout or anything of that sort. I just think that North Crowley will have just enough in the tank to beat this talented Westlake team.
Same here. It'll be a good game, but I guess, look, man, I mean, look, Westlake defeated a very good North Shore team. But, man, North Crowley knocked off not only DeSoto this year, but Duncanville. I don't know. I guess there's lots of other talented teams they played, but those are the big ones. I don't know. I just got to go with North Crowley. Let's see what happens, man. And, of course, the rest of the top 25, obviously number 1, Modern Day, finishing off with the championship, number 1 in the country. They should be flat out after this game is played and on to next week. Milton, congratulations to Milton. They finished off their championship with a big victory over Langston Hughes. So they earn themselves another state title. North Crowley, as you just heard, number 3. By the way, this is the rankings on Max Prep. So Modern Day, number 1. Milton, number 2 right now. North Crowley, you just heard all about them. They're playing tonight versus number 11, Westlake. Next up, we have Carrollton. Teran, what the hell, man? Grayson did it. Freaking, they did it, dude. What the hell's going on? Grayson, man. Grace, I feel like Vince Lombardi. What the hell is going on out there? I mean, Teran, dude, Grayson, 38-24. We knew the upsets are coming, dude. Freaking wow. So Carrollton has made their exit from that number 4 spot. But Grayson, of course, they've jumped up. So Carrollton, of course, they're number 4 at the moment. They'll be dropping soon. Bishop Gorman, the defending champions from last year, won't be the champions this year. But, of course, they won it all in Nevada back a month ago, basically, in their state championship. St. John Bosco made their exit early on in California. Well, not early on, but in the final versus Modern Day in the Southern Section, CIF Southern Section final. St. Francis currently holding down the number 8 spot after 8-3 season. Freelance team, so no playoffs for those guys. Archbishop Spalding moved up after they won their championship in also in November, but they have made it to number 9. Chaminade Madonna is back in it. They just won their state championship in Florida last week. They've been creeping up the ranks. They dropped off this year, but they jumped back in, 13-2 record. Obviously, number 11 Westlake taking on number 3 North Crowley tonight. Then, of course, Orange Lutheran 13 and Centennial 14. Those 2 teams made their exit in the CIF Southern Section Division 1 playoffs earlier this year in November. Then we had Draper Canyon, number 15. Draper, Utah, of course. Corner Canyon won their Utah State Championship. Mission Viejo also made their exit in the CIF Southern Section Finals there. IMG Academy, they are 7-2. They are currently at 17. And after their season, 7-2, cool. And they, of course, are on the playoffs. They're a freelance team. Venice winning themselves a state championship this year, defeating Lake Mary in Florida. Also, number 19, Bergen Catholic, also winning their state championship in New Jersey. We have, let's see here. Who else do we got? Oh, number 20, American Heritage. They win their state championship in Florida. Congratulations to them. Then we have here Number 21, De La Salle, of course, we know they lost in the outright Open Championship for the state of California. They lost to Mater Dei, which we talked about last week. Big ups to Mater Dei for winning that game. And De La Salle, very valiant game. Of course, Teran was in the house for that one. Talked all about that one on Monday's show. DeMatha would finish at number 22, or at least at the moment, after they defeated Our Lady of Good Counsel 16-17. Let's see here. Grimsley, and by the way, they just did it this week, man. Grimsley defeated Rollsville 35-24, winning the North Carolina State Championship. So congratulations to those guys. Grayson, as we just talked about, defeating Carrollton. They've moved up to 24 and then 25. St. Thomas Aquinas, we knew they weren't going to stay away. They knocked out of that top 25, absolutely destroying Lakeland 34-0. I think last week, finishing 12-3. So these are all moving around, moving pieces. Once again, we'll probably be getting our final moving. Well, we will be getting our final moving pieces after North Crowley and Austin, or Westlake Austin finish today. But Darren, it's been a season, dude. Any comments on any of these games before I move forward?
Yeah, expect Grayson to move up probably into the top 10. I think Carrollton will move down out of the top 10, and Grayson should move into the top 10. And I just think that was an impressive win by Grayson, winning that state championship. So great job to Grayson on that fantastic finish.
What a way to win it, dude. I mean, it's crazy. You and I were texting too. Darren, do you see the upset? Like, oh, dude, it's crazy, man. But good stuff to those guys. Big ups to our boy Ralph for tuning in and showing us some love, man. Big ups to you, good sir. He is going to be cheering on Penn State today, so thank you. We'll get into them just a little bit, man. Super excited to talk about that good stuff. But anyway, that is high school football, and there you have it. Of course, Taryn, we talked about this last weekend. For those of you who weren't with us on Monday because you tuned in on Saturdays, and you're like, what the hell's wrong with you guys on a Monday? And I'm like, well, I'm on a break. And you guys are like, oh, well, that makes sense. And I'm like, yeah, but, we can still recap stuff from last week. And you're like, okay, thank you. Anyway, Taryn, so for those of you who didn't tune in on Monday's show, yes, San Mateo did it last week, defeating Mount San Antonio 43-11. This is the second national championship in this team's history, man. San Mateo, they get it done. Good job to the Bulldogs. They have freaking been there the last 3 years in a row, winning NorCal the last 3 in a row. It's insane, dude. They got it done. Any last comments on the 3C2A this year for those who didn't tune in on Monday?
Yeah, I thought San Mateo did a great job in that game. Unfortunately for Mount Sac, I think they kind of used up all their juice against RCC the previous week and whatnot. And sometimes that happens, but San Mateo, they were able to get the job done. They were able to execute their game plan perfectly, and they just were the better team against Mount Sac.
They were. Domination at its best. Big up San Mateo, man. They just keep on winning, and they're doing a lot of great things over there, man. So, as we said, we bid farewell, of course, to not only Coach Kraft of RCC last week, retiring after, my gosh, over 40-some years of coaching. Also, Coach Beam up north from Laney College, another legendary coach after coaching also over 40-some years. They will be, both of them, hanging up the whistle. But, again, incredible job, gentlemen. Amazing careers. It was an honor to have played for Coach Kraft. I just love the fact that they went out with a bang, and hey, it's all good, man. So I'm excited for what's to come. Let's see who takes over RCC next year. Let's see what direction they go in. Let's see if can Mount San Antonio get back? Will they be back on top? All right. I mean, hey, they were in 2009. Okay, I mean, they won a championship too. I know. I was injured that season. Next year we came back and, we made a bowl game that year, RCC. But I'm just saying, hey, change the tides. Will Modesto finally will finally knock off San Mateo? Will American River, can they rear their head again and get in there? Golden West, how are they going to look next year? Will they be a surprise team? Will Fullerton finally get back to where they used to be? Mount San Jacinto, I mean, this team, they were not at all even talked about back when I played. Now, guess what, guys? They're actually one of the better teams in the 3C2A now. Will they make their way? Will San Diego Mesa, after having a tale of two halves versus RCC, will they be up and coming? Or will RCC get their brand new coach and be like, no, we're reeling it back in. Don't you guys even think about going nowhere else to sell? I'm just saying, Teran, lots of things next year in 3C2A to look forward to. So there you have it. Teran, Wednesday night. Oh my gosh. Teran, isn't it weird how the 3C2A and the NJCAA kind of mimic each other sometimes in the championship? Because you said it yourself, a tale of two halves versus Mount Sac versus San Mateo. I mean, it really wasn't. I'm sorry, Riverside in the semifinal versus Mount San Antonio. While in the championship for the NJCAA, Hutchinson, dude, the first freaking half, Iowa Western was spanking these guys, man. They came out nasty. But what happened? Hutch comes back. You heard the commentators saying, you can just imagine Coach saying, think about week two, when they beat them 38-37 at home. Well, Teran, here we go, dude. They did it again. Hutchinson will defeat Iowa Western 28-23, and the Blue Dragons, they earned their second national championship in program history. First one since 2020. Teran, how about this game, man?
Yeah, it was a very good game. Iowa Western came out swinging in that first quarter, and Hutchinson just couldn't get anything going. And a big defining moment play for Hutchinson was getting the stop in the first quarter, because Iowa Western was driving, but then they punted. Eventually Hutchinson got on the board. Another defining moment play was kind of Iowa Western stopping Hutchinson before halftime. So it was 17-7. It was looking like Iowa Western was in control, but Hutchinson was able to make the adjustments. They scored on their first drive and then scored after that, and then scored on a punt return, that was probably the game changer right there, because eventually the Hutchinson defense did what it did best. And Iowa Western, give credit to them, they didn't give up, and they even had one more final drive, but they were stopped on fourth down, and eventually Hutchinson was able to win the game. And that just goes to show that it's a game of inches. And I think missing that 2-point conversion really hurt Iowa Western, because if they get that 2-point conversion, they only go for 3 instead of going for 6. So I think for Hutchinson, they really settled in on both sides of the ball after halftime. Like that 21-0 run in the third quarter was really the spark that Hutchinson needed, because it put Iowa Western in a little bit of a pickle. And even though Hutchinson didn't score in the fourth quarter, their defense answered the call.
And that is so true, dude. I'll tell you right now, this Hutchinson defense. Okay, I gotta zone in, dude. Oh my gosh, I was loving the play of all these guys in the field. But Teran, I had to guess. I really, really, really had to zone in. There was a dude that I sent you in the text message, man, Kendrick Walker. Did you see this dude played?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, sideline to sideline, freaking everywhere. Amazing athlete. Dude, his story is pretty crazy, man. He actually was last year, his freshman year, he played at Bethel in the NAIA. Figured it's not working. And honestly, dude, it happens. And what are those guys called? Bounce backs. I played with a lot of bounce backs. Because once again, who are at junior colleges? You either get the guys who go to a university, something happens, grades, very, very rarely behavior, or you just don't like it. And I just think he probably thought, you know what, I want to go somewhere bigger, better. And he transferred back to a JUCO, bounced back. And what happened, Teran? He played his sophomore year. Dude freaking beasted out, got a championship. And apparently now he's got about 4 offers from D1 schools, dude. That's pretty cool. So a lot of these guys, I'm sure, have a story very similar to that. Or you get the guys who just didn't have the best grades in high school, who are at junior colleges. Or you get guys like myself who are just undersized and overlooked. And well, after you play at the JUCO level and you prove yourself versus bigger, better, stronger, faster guys than high school, well, then you get some offers like myself. You know what I mean? Like, that's what happens. You know what I mean? Even though you're small, they're like, okay, we see what you can do. It's just the way it goes. So you're going to get those three types of guys at JUCOs. So hats off to these guys, but congratulations to all of them, man. This was awesome. Congratulations again to the Hutchinson Blue Dragons and Teran. That is that, dude. So any last words for the NJCAA this year, man?
Yeah, I thought we had an entertaining championship game. I thought this was definitely worthwhile. I definitely thought that both teams gave it their all. And Hutchinson with that second half comeback was just amazing. So this whole game was a whole defining moment process and a defining moment game.
It definitely was, dude. Every bit of the season that we were talking about all year long, this was like the best culmination you can get. It wasn't too high scoring. It wasn't too low scoring. There were some great stories in it. These guys played in the regular season. They've had a rivalry now the last couple of years. I mean, you get all the goodies in this one, man. So just like the 3C2A, we talked about the collision course with San Mateo and Riverside. Well, that didn't happen. Very close, but it didn't happen. San Mateo rises to champions again. This year, we talked about the eventual collision course versus Hutchinson and the Blue Drag. Hutchinson and the Reavers of Iowa Western. And guess what? It happened. So I'm just saying, Teran, it's really cool to see that, man. We really have ourselves a really good season to look forward to next year. A lot of guys from understand transferring from these schools that were older. Over the last couple of years, though, Teran, like I said, they've been rivals. These new guys coming in, they're going to inherit the rivalry. What do you think next year, Teran? What do you think? Do you think both these teams will see them back? Do you think we're going to see, teams like, this year, my gosh, Georgia Military was so close. Will this team make their way back? We had a team, let's see here. Who else did we have this year, Teran, who was like really good? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. But yeah, Navarro, Snow College, we see them back into this thing. Coffeyville, who actually had a pretty good season. So, Teran, Northwest Mississippi, who was, it was 42-21 back on December 6th in the semifinal, but Northwest Mississippi had an amazing year. They won their conference in Mississippi. Will they be there next year? Like I said, Navarro, which is another big school, or Navarro College. Kind of funny. I did not know this. I never realized it was Navarro. Because our new Texas guy, of course, Mr. Jason Hicks, not only did he play at Duncanville, he played at Navarro, transferred, and played at Sam Houston. Pretty cool, right? So, great dude, man. Fellow dude like me playing in the NCAA, but I never realized it was Navarro College.
Yeah, I think people probably call it Navarro because of like the former NFL player Navarro Bowman.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's a very.
Tyler could also be a team to watch for next season. They made it to their conference tournament championship, just falling short to Navarro.
Exactly. So think about it, Teran. Think about it, dude. All these teams next year, who will emerge? Will we see any newcomers? Lots of good stuff to look forward to next year in the NJCAA, man. So, all right. With that said, Teran, we're going to change it on up because today we got ourselves another championship game to play, dude. The Kaiser Seahawks, #1 in the nation.
Because some Seahawks have to be good.
They are taking on the #2 Grandview Vikings. Oh, I was waiting for it.
Because some Vikings, interestingly enough, the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks play each other tomorrow. I'd say some Vikings have to be good, but the Minnesota Vikings are actually pretty good.
They've been okay. I want to see them in the real deal. I don't know. I'm sorry. They've been good. I want to see them actually get there this time and make it happen. They've been on a free fall since 2017, man. So I want to see this team actually, I don't know. We'll see. But you're right. But that is crazy. The Vikings and Seahawks play each other.
You can't make this stuff up.
Well, guess what? Here we go, guys. We got, of course, Kaiser taking on Grandview. Of course, we kind of already gave the preview for this one. But Teran, Grandview, they had a hell of a season. Strong little team out of Iowa. Well, not little, but strong team out of Iowa. They're back at it, man. They were able to knock off the champ from a couple years ago, Northwestern. And here we go, Teran. Kaiser going back to back. They had to come back versus Benedictine to win that thing. Kaiser really fought like hell this year to get where they are. Can they go back to back? And the craziest part about this, Teran, I didn't even know this, but apparently last year, the Kaiser head coach was named Coach of the Year, right?
Yeah.
Well, this year, it looks like Miles Russ, he takes over. He takes them to the championship in his first year of being the head coach, and he is also named the Coach of the Year this year. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, it is. But also, I think you gotta give credit to the players as well for not jumping ship as well. Because sometimes when coaches leave, then players make the decision to transfer and whatnot. But the players that stood pat are the ones that deserve a lot of credit, just because they stuck with the program. And even whether the current head coach had experience with the Kaiser staff prior to this or not, the players stuck with the game plan, and they just stuck with it and didn't go in the transfer portal and whatnot.
Exactly. Well, NAI doesn't have that, thankfully, but it's true they could have jumped ship. But I mean, I don't know. I guess I love this. I'm happy that we have a cool story like this. So last year was Coach Doug Socha, and he would win it with a championship. He's actually right now at Lenore Ryan. He left for a job at NCAA Division II, Lenore Ryan. We know who they are. And we have here the assistant head coach, which took over. And that is, of course, Miles Russ and Teran, both back-to-back years. They made it. Congratulations to those guys. That is so cool. So, courtesy here of NAI.com, I want to read this really quick, man. So, this is going to be awesome. Okay, let me go ahead and read this off the NAIA website. So, championship information. This is the 69th annual NAIA Football National Championship. Okay, we got undefeated Grandview aiming to knock off undefeated reigning champions Kaiser. Both teams are 1-1 in the Red Banner final, of course, the championship game, in program history, and enter the championship undefeated. Kaiser 12-0, Grandview is 13-0. So here we go. The Seahawks are playing in the title game for their third straight year, while the Vikings are into the tilt for the third time, in program history, spread across the last 11 seasons. Kaiser was victorious in 2023 and lost in 2022, of course, as we know, while the Vikings were winners in 2013 and finished as runners-up in 2021. Both teams had a bye week in the first round and then won 3 straight home games to reach the championship. The programs have only met one other time, December 3rd, 2022, when Kaiser won 38-21 in the FCS. Of course, that's the playoffs. So, what do you think? Teran? This is going to be fun. It looks like it's going to be broadcasted free on the Urban Edge Network. So I'm going to be watching this one coming up today.
Yes, on the NAI website.
I am so ready for this. So here we go, Teran. I mean, this is huge. Let me see here. Let's look at all these guys real quick, man. I just want to jump into this. This is awesome, man. So, Seahawks look to become the first team to go back-to-back since Morningside did in 2018-2019. They are one of 5 programs to play in championship history in the last 3 straight seasons. Of course, we had Carson Newman out of Tennessee, Carroll out of Montana, and Sioux Falls out of South Dakota do that. KU has won 23 straight games, and their last loss was in the 2022 NAIA National Championship. That's crazy. Kaiser averages 40.3 points per game, 14th in the NAIA. They are 8 in total offense, 5,718 yards. I mean, this is crazy. They are the 4th in the NAIA with 2,674 total rushing yards. I mean, this is huge. So a few things there. And of course, let's go ahead and get on over. There's more. You can check it out on the NAIA.org website. But Grandview, so the Vikings are looking to claim their first championship under head coach Joe Woodley after his father led GVU to the – oh, wow. So that's cool. He's taking over for his dad, GVU to the 2013 NAIA crown. They have won 6 straight Heart of America athletic titles in a row and 9 total. GVU is 18-11 all-time in postseason play, and the Vikings sits first in the nation in multiple categories, including scoring defenses and holding opponents to just 8.5 per game, total yards per game at 205.5, 122 less yards than Kaiser. Wow. And rushing yards per game at 68.6. So this is crazy, Teran. There's a lot more you guys can read. Check it out. Once again, NAIA.org. We talked about it on Monday, but we wanted to give the proper preview today. All right, Teran, who are you taking?
I think I got to roll with Kaiser. I think Kaiser, they just seem to I will say this about them. They just can't afford to fall behind and expect another comeback.
No.
If they do that, then Grandview will win. But I think Kaiser will win. I think Kaiser looks like it's going to be at their place per the NAI website. So I got Kaiser winning this one, but Grandview will make it a ball game.
I would love to see that. That is so cool, though, man. Shout out. That is amazing. Shout out to Coach over there, man. Head Coach Joe Woodley. I think that's amazing, man. That his dad won a title over there. I know it's coming for Grandview. I like to see them. I like to see him win a title for them. I don't know if it's going to be today. Okay, I'm going to go with Kaiser as well, but let's see what's going to happen. Dude, I'm going to be all over this game, man. It's going to be a fun one to watch. So we got that one coming up today, of course. Any last words for the NAIA?
I think that's it. I think all I'm just hoping for is a really good game. I just don't want a blowout, but I think that we're going to get a good game here. I think Grandview is going to be hungry. It's between both these teams. They've made the final the past 3 years, which I think is pretty cool, or 4 years. And I think it's going to be really awesome to see two teams that are perennially good just duke it out for one another. And Grandview will probably be the hungrier team because they haven't been to a NAIA championship since 2021. But I think Kaiser just can't overlook them.
Yeah, that's for sure, dude. Kaiser, you're right. They cannot fall behind because they will lose this game. There's no way around it. There is no ifs or nothing. Like, they will lose this game. So Kaiser needs to get off to an early start. Let's see what happens. I'm going Seahawks too. Thin margin. Should be a great game. Looking forward to it, man. So, okay. So we got those two out of the way. Let's move it on now into the Division III playoffs. Obviously, Teran, we talked about this already. We already kind of got into this on Monday. But semifinal time, of course. North Central, defending champs from a couple years ago, taking on Susquehanna. Mount Union taking on Johns Hopkins. Like I said, we got our picks on Monday. But a quick refresher for those who didn't tune into that show. What do you think, Teran?
Yeah, I think this matchup should be quite the fascinating matchup. Yeah, I picked North Central and Mount Union just because both teams have been playing really great football as of late. I took Johns Hopkins' defense to really show up and show out because they've been playing great defense this postseason. And Susquehanna, I think they'll keep it close against North Central, but I think North Central will eventually pull away in the second half.
Yeah, there's no way, in my opinion, there's no way North Central or actually Mount Union loses this game. I think personally, both of them are very, very, very talented team. Susquehanna has made it a freaking Cinderella story. This has been such a great tournament for them. But I do feel that North Central, this team just has a lot of juice, man. I mean, overall, this team can score. I don't know. When it comes down to it, my big deal is always the defense. Let's see what these guys can do. Let's see if they can show up. Susquehanna's defense has been pretty good this year, so let's see, which defense shows up. But I feel like North Central could throw a couple more points up there. And for Mount Union over Johns Hopkins, dude, the reason why, obviously, Johns Hopkins has been kicking ass all year. They have really been playing extremely well. But, dude, I'm going off of this one based off of Mount Union. That's it. Because the name Mount Union is there. This team is known to show up and win in the big ones. And we've also seen Mount Union lose in the big one right in the last couple of years, Teran. We've seen them fall off. We've seen them lose to Mary Hardin Baylor. We've seen this team lose, I believe, to also NC State. I mean, this has just been – it's crazy. But I'm looking forward – I think that was who they lost to. But regardless, I'm going to go with those two teams as well, man. Should be fun. North Central, Mount Union, let's see if they both get it done. But hats off to all four teams, man, and all the best today as we go into these semifinals. Super, super, super excited for these ones here. So any last thoughts on Division 3?
I think we're in for two good semifinals, in my opinion. I think Johns Hopkins and Mount Union will be the battle of which can shine first, Mount Union's offense or Johns Hopkins' defense. The Tuscaloosa, they're playing with house money here. I think everyone's going to be counting them out, and then they have nothing to lose. And even though they want to like show up and prove everyone wrong, I think getting to this point is quite the good experience and quite the accomplishment.
Could not agree more, good sir. Let's go ahead and jump on over now, D2, man. Today, Teran, here it is, dude. Here it is. The day has arrived, man. Ferris State, Valdosta State. We talked about this one already once again on Monday, but like I said, a refresher for everybody else who didn't tune into that show. This is going to be huge, dude. Freaking Ferris State. They won a title in the last couple of years. This is huge because Ferris State, man, I mean, can this team get it done? You know, can they freaking do it again? I mean, looking here, courtesy of the NCAA.com of the website here, I mean, look at this, Darren. The comparison is crazy. So, scoring offense, Ferris State, 44.7. Valdosta, 42.2. Total offense, Ferris State, 493. Valdosta State, 459. Scoring defenses, Ferris State, 13. Valdosta, 11. There's some points there, but I don't feel like saying the points. Total defense, 260 for Ferris State, 254 for Valdosta. Teran, these teams are freaking so close. Turnover margin, however, though. Ferris State at 7. Valdosta at 18. So, I don't know. This is different. So, I mean, I don't know. So I'm going to read a little bit of this once again, courtesy of NCAA.com. Check it out, man, for all of your college needs, man, college sports needs. But so let's see here. So the Blazers hail from Valdosta State, Georgia nicknamed Titletown, USA. So it's no surprise they are here playing for yet another championship. The Blazers are in their 7th championship game since 2002 and looking for win number 5. Valdosta State sits at 13-0 and has played one game this season, decided by one score. That's amazing. Let's see here. An 8-point victory back in October. Kudos to Minnesota State. The Mavericks only lost by 14 points to Valdosta State in the semifinal. One of just 3 games that has been that close for the Blazers all season. That's amazing. So we have that, right? And of course, we'll get into a little bit of this. They have one of the best at the helm, as Tremaine Jackson was named the 2024 AFCA Head Coach of the Year or Coach of the Year. It's pretty remarkable. The Blazers have been in 4 national championship games since 2012, and all 4 have been with different head coaches. Wow, that says something about football, the football mindset in Valdosta. So that is incredible. Also, let's see here. I can just read the rest of it. They also have one of the best quarterbacks under center. Sammy Edwards is a Harlan Hill Trophy finalist for 2 years running. He isn't simply talented. He has the set tone for one of the smartest and most efficient offenses in Division II. The Blazers have the 7th best scoring offense in the division, but perhaps more impressively, they have turned it over just 4 times. Edwards has done his part, throwing for over 3,101 yards, rushing for more than 222. Wow. And totaling 30 touchdowns with just 2 interceptions. He has a few weapons at his disposal, but Rodney Bullard, looks like, has been his biggest threat, reeling in 986 yards and 12 touchdowns. Both team highs. That's crazy, man. And then, of course, as for Valdosta State, there's more, but you can read it once again, NCAA.com. Click on football, click on Division II. Click on the big banner, talk about the championship. You'll find it here. So a little bit about Ferris State. It says Ferris State's ridiculous run. Remember when Ferris State lost its opener to Pittsburgh State or at Pittsburgh State? The Bulldogs aren't nearly 13-0 since then. They have done it at an unbelievable pace. They responded by going 3-0 in September, outscoring their opponents, which included Super Region 1 playoff bound Ashland. Talked about them this year from Ohio. 138-113. That's crazy. Beginning on October 19th, the Bulldogs disposed of Michigan Tech, Grand Valley State, Saginaw State, and Davenport, all teams that had winning records and were in the tournament conversation. And only Saginaw State was able to come within 2 scores. When the tournament started, nothing changed. The Bulldogs steamrolled through the first 2 rounds. They did by combining a score of 119-24 before mounting that fourth quarter comeback in the semifinals versus Slippery Rock and still won by 2 scores. That's insane. They came back in the fourth quarter, man. Remember I talked about that last week, and still won by 2 scores. So it says here, this year has been a little different for head coaches. Tony looks like Anise, a Super Region 3 staple and one of the best in Division 2 for more than a decade. Trinidad Chambliss has been the primary quarterback, opposed to the arsenal of weapons under center Ferris State has had for the past several years. But after losing touchdown machine Carson Golter early this season to season injury, Chambliss answered the call and turned in is a Harlan Hill finalist. That's amazing. A true dual threat. He has 2,772 yards passing, 941 yards rushing, and 49 touchdowns. Wow. Cannon Katzer has been named a game changer, or has been a game changer since the tournament started, helping Chambliss lock down that run game. Looks like his Katzer has 441 yards rushing and 6 touchdowns since the tournament started. So if you want to hear more about this, man, once again, NCAA.com. Check it out, Division II football. Teran, how about this game, man?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good game. I think for Ferris State, the reason why I picked them is because they had adversity and they faced at least some sort of adversity. Yeah, I read that. Good old Marcus.
You're the best,
I think
Marcus.
Ferris State will probably come out on top, but you can't count out Valdosta State. Valdosta State's offense has been nice. My only concern for them is that they turn the ball over, and if they don't have that good ball security, then Ferris State is going to pounce on that. And you know they'll say, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Ferris State will take more than just that. They'll take your lunch money as well. So I think Ferris State will win this one, but Valdosta State, if they take care of the ball, they could easily win this one.
I agree. I think it's going to be a hell of a game, Teran. Let's go opposites, man. I'll do Valdosta. That defense to me has been insane. Yeah. Let's see if they can get it done. Let's see if they can hold that mighty offense. I mean, this is going to be a lot of Teran. This team, this is almost a pick 'em.
Yes.
Like this is such a good football game, man. 2 evenly matched teams. I love it. Let's see who wins it today, man. Once again, Division II playoffs. See if we can get if it's live streamed, we can put it up in our one of the 3 and out accounts, or the 3 and out all spelled out CEIE, of course. So anyway, Teran, any last thoughts on Division II before we move on out?
I think this one gets decided by 1 score.
I think so too. I think so. Why not, right? It's only fitting. Right? So, all right, Teran. So let's do this. FCS, man, which is where these 2 teams might be headed soon. Just kidding. I mean, they might. Ferris State and Valdosta State, pretty damn good programs there. So a little bit of FCS, man. We are in the FCS playoffs, and here we go today, Teran. Once again, we picked our winners already. We picked our gave our thoughts on Monday. But South Dakota, Montana State, well, will those Coyotes, man, they ended such a good season for UC Davis. Oh, it's still a heartbreaker. But the Coyotes, man, I know. But the Coyotes are here. They're ready to play. Will they knock off the Bobcats, who had a hell of a run last year? They got it, they made it happen. South Dakota State, North Dakota State, obviously, big brothers in the house taking on little brother. I know it's messed up. They won a championship more recently. I mean, I don't know, dude. This has been fun. I love this. But I will say, okay, after last year, South Dakota State defeating Montana 23-3 in the national championship game. Well, South Dakota State's still in it. Montana's not. But is Big Brother back to knock off South Dakota State? And somebody is going to be brand new, at least, this year. Is South Dakota finally going to get there, or is Montana State going to get back? I think they were there 2 years ago. So what do you think, Teran?
I got Montana State beating South Dakota fairly easily, and then I think North Dakota State will edge past South Dakota State in a thriller. I just think North Dakota State needs to get its lick back after missing out on the national championship game, and then Montana State wants its redemption to continue on. So give me Montana State.
I like it. Yep, I'm going to go Montana State in this one. And then, I don't know, dude. As hard as this is, and as much as I would like to see the Jacks win, I'm going to go Bison.
Yep. The Midwest schools, when it comes to the FCS, are just plain dominant.
Yep.
And they are the kings, unfortunately.
They are. Well, hey, fortunately for them, though, because if you think about it, Teran, the whole country's actually pretty filled up.
Yeah, cool. But when it comes to the Final Four, the Midwest just was supreme against its quarterfinals.
They certainly will, Teran. So with that said, those are our two picks for the FCS. We'll talk about the championship coming up soon. But Teran, before we get into the FBS and of course the college football playoff and of course a little bit of NFL talk, can we just skip the NFL? Can we skip Vegas? Can we just not talk about the Raiders? That'd be good. Okay, we got to talk about those idiots. But anyway, Teran, let's do it, man. Let's take ourselves a quick break. When we come back, you guys, we're going to jump on into the FBS, talk about the first ever college football playoff game ever played. It was an Indiana battle. Was it a battle? It was an Indiana game. So we're going to call it. And, of course, today we got lots more coming up. We got some bowl season to talk about. Oh, we're going to have ourselves some fun. So you are listening to Mega 3 and Out, episode 3, right here on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
everybody? This is Teran Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? Then I have the show for you. Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey sports fans, are you in the market for Florida sports or just keeping up with the latest in the Panhandle? Palm Tree Sports is a dedicated audio hub to all things sports in the Sunshine State. We cover current events, big news, heavily favored opinions all across the NFL, NBA, MLB, and so much more. So come check us out every Saturday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For a down south education on Florida sports and athletics, it's hosted by yours truly, Corey Pujols, and is powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Thank you to all of our awesome people involved, man. All these great shows. I think you heard a volleyball show in there somewhere. Did you hear a volleyball show in there, Teran? I thought I heard a volleyball
think
show.
I did.
I think I did. And today, I don't even give a, I can give a shit less if this is a football show. Teran! Today's the day. Pittsburgh, what the hell happened to you? Who are you, Pittsburgh? I don't know who you are because they didn't play like Pittsburgh. I'm sorry. I don't know who that team was, Teran. That was one of the biggest upsets I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I watched that game. I was so excited for it. I know you covered it this week, Teran. I'm looking forward to, I don't even know. You might do a show pre and a post show tonight. I don't even know, but I know today is the day, dude. This is going to be awesome, man. Women's volleyball, of course. Check out our boy, man, Teran Rodriguez. Set Point. It comes down to this, man. Tonight, here it comes, man. Actually, not sorry. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Damn it. Tomorrow. Dang it. That was today.
It's on ABC.
It's on ABC. Penn State. We are taking on Louisville. Teran, we got ourselves a little bit of volleyball action coming up, man. National championship style.
Yep. Battle of two female coaches, and one of them will be crowned a national champion, which hasn't been done since the NCAA tournament started in 1981. So that's something to look forward to. And also, Louisville could be the first team since UCLA back in 1991 to win a championship on its home floor. Only three teams have done that. UCLA has done it twice, and then Pacific did it, I think, 4 years before UCLA last did it.
Oh, I love that. See, guys, once again, we got all the stories. We got all the goodies, man. IE Sports Radio, baby. You want to show us some love, man. Go to our YouTube channel, IE Sports Radio. Subscribe, like, share. Guys, we got everything. All the stuff you want, we got it. It's your sports all day long, you guys. We don't get into the crap. We talk about sports because it's what matters. So let's do it, you guys. We're going to jump on into it, Teran. Make sure to follow this guy. He's amazing. Make sure to jump on. If you don't know him, well, now you do, of course. Teran Rodriguez, IE Sports Radio Hall of Famer, the host of that show right there, Set Point, and the SoCal Space Sports Show, giving us great previews all week long, great recaps, going in on the Rams and Chargers weekly. Oh, my gosh. His rants are the best. Follow him. Sticking my man, of course, you can follow me, of course, at the THEE_LB53. 3 and out, of course, CEIE, 3 and out, all spelled out, ISR. Show us some love, man. There we go, Teran. So we're going to get into the FBS now, dude. And let's get on into bowl season. All right. So it's been fun. It has been fun. I have been enjoying bowl season very much so. Do you happen to have our picks available, Teran?
I have, unfortunately, I haven't gotten around to them. I'm sorry. I really need to get around to that.
Teran lost our picks.
Yeah, I should have had a piece of paper and a pen with me. But in my defense last week, I had to get ready for I didn't know we were going to make our picks in one fell swoop. I thought we were just going to go week by week. So
Yeah, it's all good. It's all
next
good
week
there.
I will for sure have them.
Okay, well, we are good. I got Ricky, so I'll send him over to you. So, Teran, here we go, dude. Starting off, of course, we talked about it last week. The Veterans Bowl, we talked about that on Monday. But this is a pretty good game, Teran. This was a pretty good game. You know what? Veterans Bowl, good job. South Alabama got it done, defeating Western Michigan 30-23. Good game for these guys, man. Good ender for their season. South Alabama, man, they ended very strong with a 7-6 record. It wasn't the greatest season for these guys, but it was a good little ender for them. And Western Michigan, unfortunately, 6-7. But hey, they at least got into a bowl game where other teams didn't. So, any thoughts on this one, Teran?
Yeah, Jeremiah Webb was very good in this game. He had a monster receiving game, and Bishop Davenport also slung the rock really well. South Alabama needed a little bit of I wouldn't say a comeback, but a little bit of a surge as Western Michigan was trying to surge in the fourth quarter, but South Alabama just steadied the ship and kept it going.
They did exactly that. And good stuff to those guys, man. So hats off to Alabama. South Alabama for winning this year. Teran, the Frisco Bowl, because Frisco is a cool word to say. Frisco. I once had a Frisco burger at like a Billy's.
Just don't say it around people from San Francisco.
Oh yeah, they don't like that. They don't like San
almost as much as they don't like San Fran.
Yep, I know. You gotta love our friends up in the Bay Area, man. Shout out to you, our boy Dre, man. Hold it down. The NorCal Sports Report. Teran, Memphis in their really cool uniforms took on Mountain Mama, West Virginia. Teran, this was a hell of a game, man. The Tigers win this thing 42-37. How about this one, man?
This seemed to be like the game that didn't want to end because both teams were scoring it well. Both teams had the ball. And West Virginia almost made a crazy comeback to the point where they could have gotten the ball off of a Memphis fumble. But thankfully, it wasn't ruled a fumble, and Memphis was able to hold on and win. That would have been wild had West Virginia managed to make a comeback and win. But for the Tigers, they were able to get the win despite a nice little game from Garrett Green.
Exactly. So I thought that was a very good game, dude. Good job to Memphis.
Hudson Clement also had a good game for West Virginia as well.
Hell of a, you gotta love it, man. These guys, let's see. We may not, but if we see them at the next level, hey, they may be sleepers. So I love that. So next up, Teran, we have the Boca Raton Bowl. James Madison. How about James Madison, man? JMU coming up, being a FCS team now. From the FCS being an FBS team. They've been really good in the last couple of years doing this, man. They win a bowl game, man, 27-17 over Western Kentucky.
This was a good win for James Madison. Western Kentucky was a formidable opponent, but I think having the Conference USA championship hangover kind of derailed their hopes. I think James Madison was just a little more solid, and I think having that extra week of rest kind of propelled them to getting that win.
It did. It really did. And good job for them, man. I mean, the Dukes have really, really, really come out and played, man. I mean, they came into the FBS storming. 2016, they were the only team to like put a freaking split in the middle of North Dakota State's incredible streak from 2011 to like 2021, I think, or something. It was crazy, like a 10-year of terror for the Bison. The Dukes were the only team to actually win between all of that in 2016. So, I mean, hey, James Madison was ready a long time ago. Here they are doing big things now in the FBS. Congratulations to them. Teran, there's a game that you talked about because it's the LA Bowl. Hey, number 24, UNLV. Teran, congratulations to these guys, man. UNLV gets it done. I can't believe it. This is their first bowl game in like a million years. They have defeated Cal 24-13. This was a good game for them, man. You know what? The Rebels, they really, really, really turned things around. People didn't even know who the hell UNLV was a couple of years ago, but here they are, man. Number 24 in the country. Good job to the Rebels.
Yeah, and I think UNLV did a great job following their loss in the Mountain West Conference Championship game to Boise State. And I thought their defense really shined in the second half. The defense was just was humming on all levels. As Marcel McDuffie, he had 13 tackles. Jet Elod, he had 12 tackles. Like 3 different players had 10 or more tackles on UNLV. So it was more of a defensive battle, in my opinion. Cal did a good job of establishing its run game, but I just think that UNLV's defense as a whole was just much better.
Way
And
better.
much cleaner.
Yeah, and they got it done. So congratulations to them, man. This was a very, very, very fun game to watch. I enjoyed this one. I really did. I loved this game from start to finish. UNLV, I loved it too. There's a lot of like history in there. They're throwing little stuff in here and there about the teams. I don't know. It was a very, very well put together game. The LA Bowl, good stuff, man. Beautiful stadium, right? SoFi, So
Oh yeah,
great game. Congratulations to the Rebels on finishing off on a good note. Now we have the New Orleans Bowl, Teran. Sam Houston State. How about those Bearcats, man? Eat them up, cats. Again, once I say crazy, man. Our new DFW host. So crazy, man. Jason Hicks played for these guys, but Sam Houston, man. Or I guess he said was it their film guy or something. I don't know. I mean, he went there. Is what he said. But I got to confirm with him if he played there if he went there. But overall, Teran, this was huge, man. James Madison. Another team like James Madison coming up from the FCS is their first year in the FBS. Teran, how about this, dude? They get it done. They get a bowl game, defeating Georgia Southern 31-26. I think it's their first year. Maybe their second. I don't know. Regardless, they get it done, dude.
Yeah, it is their first bowl game win, which I thought was incredible, if you ask me. Yeah. And Sam Houston, let me just tell you, they were so close to making the Conference of USA championship. Unfortunately, they fell short. They saw Western Kentucky winning on the last day of the regular season. And then they and Jacksonville State faced off against one another. And then Jacksonville State wound up winning the rubber match. So looking at the statistics, they forced 4 interceptions against Georgia Southern's JC French, which big yikes right there. So that's not going to get the job done for Georgia Southern. The fact that they're even in this game for the most part is beyond misbelief, but credit to Sam Houston. Those 4 picks really went a long way, and they also recovered a fumble. So all in all, it was 5 turnovers for Georgia Southern in that game. So that's not going to really win you a whole lot of games, but credit to Sam Houston State and its defense.
Big time stuff there for those guys, man. Congratulations to the Bearcats winning their first bowl game. The Cure Bowl was yesterday. I love this cause. Obviously, breast cancer awareness. Love it, man. Ohio gets it done. This was a very good game, dude. We were cruising around yesterday. Cecilia and I were out and about enjoying our first day of vacation, getting Christmas shopping done, doing this, doing that. Tire rotated, just, working on the cars, doing everything, cruising around everywhere. Yesterday, dude, Ohio gets it done, man. 30-27 over Jacksonville State. This was a very good game, man. But congratulations to the Bearcats. This is actually their first ever 11-game winning season in history.
That's incredible right there. And credit to Ohio. The second half obviously didn't really go their way. They built a sizable lead. It was 27-7, but Jacksonville State was able to make a late surge comeback. Fortunately, Ohio just had enough in the tank to slow down Jacksonville State. So all in all, Jacksonville State, I will give them credit. Tyler Huff did have himself a nice little game. I know Jacksonville State had to throw the ball quite a bit, and they had to abandon the run in the second half, but Tyler Huff had himself a nice little game with 362 passing yards and 1 touchdown. But Ohio got to establish their running game. They had 2 players with 100-plus rushing yards. One was their quarterback, who threw for 256 passing yards and a touchdown. So all in all for Ohio, they just played a much better game. They got out to an early lead, and they were able to keep hold of it, which was nice.
It was. And congratulations, man. These guys really, they played so well. Like I said, first time they ever won 11 games in the season. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you, Bobcats. So, good job to those guys. Now we're going to move on. The Gasparilla Bowl yesterday. Teran, we thought this would be a better game. I mean, it was really good like the first half. It was like 3 or 6-0, something like that, Florida.
6-0.
Yeah, and then they freaking turned it on, dude. Like, they just whipped on Tulane, man. 33-8. Florida gets a big victory here in the Gasparilla Bowl. Dude, how about them Gators, man? Chomp, chomp.
Yeah, they forced 3 turnovers against Tulane quarterback Ty Thompson. So, the turnover battle was won by Florida. And when you're off to a 6-0 lead and you're shutting out your opponent through 3 quarters, you're doing something right when it comes to this game. So, I think for Florida, also being battle tested in the SEC just really helped them. And it was looking like Florida wasn't even going to be going bowling, and then they managed to rattle off a few in a row, and they managed to win to the point where they got to go bowling. And look at what they did to Tulane. And also I think Tulane suffered from a little bit of a AAC, American Athletic Conference championship hangover, just because their score didn't come until Florida was up 33-0, which was in the late stages of the game with like 29 seconds left. So technically that might be considered a garbage time touchdown, but they wanted to play for pride. They didn't want to get shut out.
And you know what? At least they hung in there. They balled. They did what they could, right? So big ups
Yeah,
there.
imagine getting shut out in a bowl game or imagine making a bowl game and then getting shut out in said bowl game. That would be ugly.
That's embarrassing. Nope. Thankfully, they got it done. At least they got on the board. So, and then of course, Teran, we had ourselves a game last night. It was so we can actually exit because that's it for bowl season. Of course, we got the rest of our bowl picks that we made like 2 shows ago. So we're going to keep on following those. But as of right now, just to let you guys know, obviously, because I'm sure you all know, of course, today we got 3 college football playoff games today, 3 of them. Yeah, no bowl games today, guys. And then, of course, bowl season does continue coming up on Monday. We have, of course, the Myrtle Beach Bowl, Coastal Carolina, and UTSA, and the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Northern Illinois versus Fresno State. Yeah, so we got some good stuff there. And, of course, like I said, we made all of our picks already. So we're going to keep on rolling with the picks as we go every time we're on, recapping and kind of going over them. So anyway, we got all of our picks for those. But, Teran, let's go ahead and roll, man. The college football playoff. Well, here we go. Yesterday, we had our very first one, round 1. We had got underway. Teran, I don't want to sound like a total a-hole. Indiana was never going to win this game. Like, ever. And despite a really good onside kick last night, where they got the ball back and scored, and then almost got it again the next time. Well, not almost, but man, that was if they would have got it back. Regardless, they were never going to win this game. Notre Dame probably should have won by more. I mean, last night they were talking about like how long it's been since Indiana has defeated Notre Dame. And it like goes back to like the freaking prehistoric era when this was the quarterback for Indiana. This guy right here, Jurassic Park.
Yes.
This dude. This was the Heisman that year, by the way. Yep. This was from, couple 100,000 years ago, couple million years ago. This was the last time Indiana had beaten Notre Dame, you guys. And they were bringing that up, and I was like, man, like, wait, they just, wow. Like, damn.
Savagery.
Yeah, seriously, the savagery. But it's true, dude. So anyway, and Notre Dame just knocked these guys off. Look, Indiana has this year. Look, in our chat room last night, of course, our boy Big Mike, host of Indiana Sports Nation, always does an amazing job. But he said it last night. Because a little more. Obviously, this was a big surprise, but next year he sees them going further, and I do too. You know what? Let's see. The Hoosiers are coming. But, dude, I'll tell you right now, Indiana fans should not be disappointed. They exceeded all expectations, dude. Like, I didn't have this game. I'd never seen anywhere near the playoff. All right? So, knowing that they were in the playoff and got this far to play Notre Dame in this game and even make it a 10-point game towards the end of the game, but who cares? Final score is the final score. This was big for them. But Notre Dame moves on. What do you think, Teran?
Yeah, I thought this was a solid game, but Notre Dame, I think this is so evident to Notre Dame just being more battle tested against teams like Texas A&M and Army, whereas Indiana, they hadn't really played anybody noteworthy or beaten anybody noteworthy, which really sucks because I think Indiana could have benefited from having a couple of more ringers on their team, or a couple of more ringers on their schedule. So
Oh, yeah.
I think for Indiana, this was kind of the expected result. Notre Dame just had a strong defense. The run game led by Jeremiah Love. He was phenomenal. He had a 98-yard rushing touchdown, which really set the tone
Yeah.
for Notre Dame. And I just think that Indiana just couldn't get its offense going through 3 quarters. I think they waited a little too long for their offense to get going. So I think for Indiana, they should be happy about this season. Obviously, it's not the season that you wanted, but this is what happens when you beat a bunch of, I wouldn't say cupcakes, but when you beat a bunch of nobodies or sub 500 teams on your
Miami.
schedule. So
Sorry.
I think for Notre Dame, this is kind of the benefit of being independent, just because you get to schedule your opponents and you can schedule your type of opponent. You don't have to schedule the toughest opponents, but at the same time, you could schedule opponents that'll sharpen your iron.
Absolutely, Teran. This one's a good one, man. So now they are going to be facing off versus Georgia. Oh, that's going to be fun. That is going to be fun. They'll be playing them, of course, on New Year's Day.
Yep.
Versus, Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, the All-State Sugar Bowl. So looking forward to that one, Teran. And, of course, the rest of the college football playoff today going on. Not the rest, but I mean, 3 more games. Dude, this is it, man. Number 11, SMU versus Penn State. Number 12, Clemson versus Texas. And number 9, Tennessee versus Ohio State. We already made our picks, but really quick recap of our picks if you'd like. So coming up in just about 30 minutes, man, it's SMU and Penn State. What do you think?
Yeah, I got Penn State winning this one. SMU has had a great season, but unfortunately, them playing on the road against a talented Penn State team, even though they haven't really beaten the best of teams, it's going to be tough for SMU. That Beaver Stadium is going to be rocking in Happy Valley. It's going to probably be a whiteout if I had to guess. So give me the Nittany Lions.
All day long. Pony Up was good. Another one who exceeded expectations, especially in the ACC. But I got them. Yeah, Penn State for sure. We are. Clemson and Texas, the battle of the oranges.
Burnt orange versus average orange or common orange. I'll take Texas for this one. I think as good as Clemson is in them winning the ACC championship, I just don't think they stack up well against Texas. And it's unfortunate that Clemson got this seed, because I think Clemson versus Penn State would have been a little bit more interesting. But as well as SMU versus Texas, nice little in-state rivalry game. But I think Texas is going to win this one fairly easily.
Yeah, same here. I think we're going to see a nice Texas victory in this one. Regardless of Clemson should I think it'll be closer than SMU Penn State. But I got to go Texas in this one. And, of course, Tennessee and Ohio State.
If Ohio State loses this one, I think Ryan and Dave better get ready to put the fries in the bag.
Yeah. And then, that's it. I mean, it's over.
The salt with my burger and drink. But, yeah, I got Ohio State winning. They should win this one. As good as Tennessee is, they're just too up and down, if you ask me. They're just too inconsistent. They just can't play normal football on a weekly basis.
No.
Otherwise, this team would have probably been the SEC championship. But they aren't. So I think Ohio State wins this one. I would say fairly easily, but they eventually pull away in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. There's no way. Look, Tennessee is good. They've come a long way, right? They really have. But Teran, you got to be kidding me. If I'm telling you, if Ryan Day's already lost the big games, he's already lost to those. Okay, over several years for Ohio State. You lose this one, bro. Yeah, you're right. This needs to be it for you. But overall, man, exciting game. I'm almost positive Ohio State's going to win it, but we shall see. So there you go, Teran. We got our playoff there going strong, and that is it for today. However, we got a little bit of NFL to get into here. And, hey, it's mega 3 and out, so we're doing all of it, Teran, to be mega, But here we go, NFL Week 16. Well, actually, before we even get into Week 16, let's go ahead and get a little recap of NFL Week 15. We're going to go short and sweet. I know. We're going to go short and sweet here, Teran. But obviously, we talked about it last week. The Rams getting that nice little victory over the Niners, 12-6. it needed to happen because there was no way the Rams, no, they would have never lived this thing down. Okay, so you need to get the victory. Okay. I know, like I said, we recapped this already on Monday's show, but we're just going to go really quick. Anyway, so obviously last week, Ravens over the Giants. That was expected, 35-14. Jets just finally get a win. Finally,
but at what cost?
But at what cost? 32-25 over the Jaguars. Yeah. Cowboys defeat the Panthers because that's a great team to beat, to look like you did something this year. 30-14. The Commanders beat the Saints in a one score battle. That was a crazy ending. But 20-19 over the Saints on the road. That poor Saints team. But hey, the Commanders have looked very surprising this year. The Bengals get a victory over the Titans, 37-27 in the toilet bowl, because the game doesn't even matter. The Chiefs defeated the Browns 21-7. Chiefs looking more human, guys. Chiefs are looking more human. The Browns still look like crap. Texans defeat the Dolphins 20-12. Good game for the Texans. The Dolphins continue to go in reverse. Good for them. I don't know what else to say about them. The horse battle. We have the team with more horsepower. Okay, Broncos defeating the Colts 31-13. Colts are just looking like a hot mess, and the Broncos actually played okay. And then, of course, we have the Cardinals over the Patriots 30-17. Crickets. Bills over the Lions 48-42. Good game for the Bills, getting that thing done. And of course, the Lions. Hey, this was a great game. Some people want to see us in the Super Bowl, so I'm just saying. Buccaneers knock off the Chargers. Ouch, but they did redeem themselves this week. Eagles over the Steelers 27-13. The last time that the Steelers defeated the Eagles in Philadelphia, this was their running back. I'm just kidding. No. He also played for the Steelers that same exact year when he beat Indiana with Notre Dame. When he beat Notre Dame at Indiana, he went to the Steelers, and that's the last time they beat the Eagles. In Philadelphia. I love how they bring up those old stats. They're hilarious. But anyway, and of course, on Sunday night, we have the Packers defeating the Seahawks 30-13. Sunday Night Football. And then Monday, of course, these were games we picked that Monday afternoon. Of course, the Raiders were going to lose because why not? Falcons win 15-9. And of course, the Vikings did away with the Bears 30-12. There you go. Week 15. Yay. And then, of course, on Thursday Night Football's last past week, the Chargers won a must-win game. All right, now we get on to week 16. But yeah, must-win game, man. Damn, Teran's celebrating, guys. Teran is celebrating over there. Week 16, man. Chargers started off with a bang. Big victory here. And, I know you talked about it yesterday, Teran, but this is important to get into because this game has playoffs all over it. This was it was an awesome game because everyone was calling it like the Duck Bowl because obviously Bo Nix and Herbert. But, yeah, Teran, this game was huge. So, like I said, I know you talked about it yesterday on SoCal Sports Show, but give a little recap for those who didn't tune into that. How big was this game for the Chargers?
Yeah, this was a big must-win game because if they lost this one, they would have lost 3 in a row, which would not have been ideal. And they actually swept the season series against the Denver Broncos for the first time since 2010, and they're now in a very good position to make the playoffs. And now Denver's in a situation where they no longer have they don't have the tiebreaker over the Chargers. Well, they never had the tiebreaker going into the game, but that could really hurt the Broncos in terms of possibly not only getting the 7 seed, but missing the playoffs altogether. Because if they lose out and then Cincinnati wins out, or maybe Miami wins out, and maybe I think Indianapolis, Indianapolis doesn't have the tiebreaker over the Broncos, but either way, if the Bengals or Dolphins win out, then the Broncos lose out, then the Broncos could miss the playoffs. And guess who's the Broncos' next game? It's against Cincinnati. So, and you never know with Pittsburgh. They could be resting their starters. So Cincinnati could find themselves in a position where they could win their final 2 games. Now, on the other side for the Broncos, they face the Bengals and then they face the Chiefs, where let's say the Chiefs have locked up the number 1 seed, then they'll probably rest all their starters. But if the Chiefs don't lock up the number 1 overall seed, then you can expect the Chiefs to be playing their starters. It's going to all depend on this. It's going to depend on today, and then next week when the Chiefs play the Steelers, and then the following week where everything will be aligned. I think the AFC is pretty much finalized unless Denver has a massive collapse. I highly doubt the Chargers have a collapse just because they're facing the Patriots, which are not good, and the Raiders, which, sorry to say, Larry, they aren't having the season that they expected to have. I know those two games are on the road, but still, it's tough to win on the road in the NFL, let alone tough to win on the road in general.
It is, but when it's the Raiders, everything's easy. I mean,
it's in their best interest to lose because Shedeur Sanders is calling their name.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I feel bad for that guy. I mean,
or Caleb Ward.
Anyway, Teran is getting. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, Teran, well, look, this is huge. I think that you're right. The AFC is all but locked up. Let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. Let's see how this team can freaking go. Let's go Chargers, man. Let's see what these guys are made of. I want to see it. I like the feel-good story of the Harbaugh coming back to the NFL after losing the big one, going to Michigan for 9 years, winning a championship, coming back to the NFL to redeem himself. I like the story, dude. I like the story.
Yeah, I do too. And the fact that the Chargers have a winning season after they had a nightmare season last year, it's just absolutely amazing. And it just goes to show that sometimes you just need the right personnel at the helm to make everything happen. So I think for the Chargers, 2 more wins would be even more ideal. Getting the 5 seed would be super ideal just because they would avoid having to go to Buffalo or Pittsburgh just because, as I've said, I think Buffalo is a matchup nightmare for the Chargers, and they already lost to Pittsburgh, which I don't think would be – I think they'd be the worst or the least worst of the 2 evils, but I think a matchup against Houston would be a little bit more ideal, but they have that playoff experience as well. So we'll see what happens going into the postseason. The Texans have looked really human as of late.
Oh, they've fallen off a cliff, dude. I don't even know. But, well, let's get into it, dude. We already started week 16. Today we got 2. We got 2. This is going to be fun, dude. The Texans coming in. The Texans coming into this game today in about an hour and a half, actually. 9-5. Chiefs at 13-1. Teran, is this the day the Chiefs take L number 2? Or do you think the Texans are, the Chiefs are just going to roll on to this team too?
As good of an interest it would be to see Houston win, I think Kansas City wins. Patrick Mahomes is still healthy enough to hobble his way onto the field and get it done. So give me the Chiefs.
Yeah. It'll be a good game. I would love to see the Texans win just because it'd be funny. But yeah, I think the Chiefs they're the team this year again to beat. So let's see how well they do in the playoffs. It's a different animal. But as for today, I still got to go with the Chiefs, even though the Texans I do feel would be the close team to beat them. And then of course, this is the one. Last night it was a great show, man. I know you were live at the same time. They were live. It was awesome. On the Inza Report, our very own Ralph Calise, of course, he's chiming in right now, saying if if the Steelers win the division today, their home playoff will be against the Chargers. That would be
most likely. Yeah. They will probably be no lower than the 3 seed.
Yeah,
but the Chargers could avoid facing the Steelers if they win out and they get a little help from teams that face the Ravens, because I think the Texans have the Ravens next week, and you never know with the Browns. So We'll see.
Yeah, never know with the Browns, ever. So, yeah, there. So, anyway, this is a huge game tonight, man. Steelers, Ravens. They talked about it last night on the Inza Report. He had our very own Mike Pat of Let's Whine About DMV Sports, covering all things. Of course, he covers Commanders and Ravens. It was a fun show. They went back and forth. I enjoyed it. Teran, got to be real with this one, man. The Ravens aren't a bad team. They've just slipped up in the worst times. But the Steelers have been the gem. What do you think?
You know what? Give me Pittsburgh to win this one. I think Pittsburgh takes the win. I think with TJ Watt wasn't playing, I'd pick the Ravens, but yeah, I'm taking the Steelers. I think their defense will shut down Lamar Jackson in the run game.
It's not an easy task. It's really not.
Mm-hmm.
Because my gosh, Henry, I mean, this has just been a great season for him, really, personally. He's had a very redemption year. But rough go, man. I really like the Ravens in a lot of ways, but I like the Steelers more. The Steelers, I feel that there's just more there. You're right. TJ Watt, big part of that defense. I think he's going to be all over the place. He's got to have a freaking game tonight. I'm going Steelers too, man. This is a good one. I just feel that this is let's see here. Wow, Teran, 3 major injuries for the Steelers. That's
this feels like a Steelers win, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the team that's won the first meeting has gone on to sweep the season series between the Ravens and the Steelers, unless I'm mistaken. But regardless, I got Pittsburgh winning this one. I think that might be true. That might be true. But I've seen when it comes to Steelers Ravens the past few years, whoever wins that first game eventually sweeps the season series.
Which is a weird little fact, but hey, I mean, I'm not such the biggest believer in the facts, but sometimes they do, sometimes they happen. So, Teran, I'll tell you right now, dude, I am so excited for this game tonight. It's going to be we got 2 bangers today, man. These are 2 really good games. Potentially the first one being a really good game, maybe even an upset, depending, Chiefs or who knows if they rest people, I don't know. But this is a hell of a game, man. It should be a lot of fun. So yeah. Great point. Let's go Steelers. Yeah, I agree.
I think the Chargers could use a little help from the Steel City.
Yeah,
maybe get the Ravens down below the Chargers so that they would possibly avoid the Steelers, and maybe they get the ideal matchup that is the Texans.
Hey, I'm just saying, what if it happens? I know. Red Terran's like, come on. We'll see, though, dude. So, okay, let's go ahead and roll through Week 16, dude. Obviously, Sunday's games, Rams at the Jets. Teran, is this a joke? I mean, oh my gosh. Rams come in 8-6. They're hoping. Jets are a joke. What do you think?
My only fear for the Rams is that they get vintage Aaron Rodgers and vintage Devontae Adams. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but I think the Rams have got to take advantage of the Jets' disarray and their clown show. I mean, the Jets have been playing well, but honestly, for the Jets, I mean, they just beat a Jags team, which they're starting Mac Jones, and then they lost to a Dolphins team, which they don't have a good defense, and they collapsed against the Seahawks. Lost late against the Colts, and got obliterated by the Cardinals. So other than the Texans win, the Jets have not been overly impressive. The Rams have got to win this because they're playing for the division. They're playing for the NFC West title.
Yes.
I don't care if they're playing in the East Coast. They got to get the job done this week because they have a very favorable I wouldn't say very favorable schedule, but they have a very favorable matchup this week. And then the Seahawks have the Vikings, which if the Seahawks lose that one, then that bolsters the chances of the Rams winning the NFC West,
which is huge. So, hey, dude, I'm all with it, man. Let's see what happens. I love this game a lot because you're right. What if we somehow did get vintage? I just get Terran's like, no, we don't want that next week. Yeah, man. But yeah, we both picked Penn State today, dude. But anyway, so this is huge. Let's get with it, man. Moving on. Eagles and Commanders. Another game that's like, is this? He's kidding. No, this is actually a good game. This is actually a very, very good game because this is it. I mean, the Commanders are definitely not the top here. Eagles are definitely, they've gotten 3 more wins, obviously. But this is huge for the Commanders. 12-2 Eagles, 9-5 Commanders. Teran, what's on the line today with this game?
If the Eagles win, then they win the NFC West, and they strengthen their chances of possibly
NFC East.
Yeah.
Sorry.
These 2 teams are the class of the NFC East. I just think the Eagles have just been a little bit more ahead of the curve. But Washington, everyone thought that Washington was kind of going to be in a rebuild season, even with a rookie quarterback. But Jaden Daniels has performed really well, so I got to give it to the Eagles to win this one.
Yeah, I'm not
going to go for the number 1 seed as well.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to go against the Eagles. They're the better team. I feel that obviously the Commanders have had a great year. Let's see if these guys end up in the playoffs. But I'll tell you right now, my pick is definitely with the Eagles. They have been a huge surprise team. They haven't been the biggest surprise because they weren't horrible, but they're definitely, a good football team. And that people didn't expect to be like great. So 12 freaking wins this year. Congratulations to these guys. Let's see if they can keep it going. Next up, Teran, we got the Giants and the Falcons. Now, this was the joke that I was talking about in a few minutes. The Falcons actually, so you say there's a chance at 7-7. There's somewhat of a chance there. Can they get it done? Giants obviously are dead in the water. They're in Raider territory, 2-12. But this is a huge game for the Falcons, Teran.
Yeah, they're actually starting Michael Penix Jr., who unfortunately is starting over Kirk Cousins, and it looks like Kirk Cousins is about to get released. So, Regardless, I'm picking Atlanta. I think Penix is going to have himself a game, and this is the type of game you want Penix to play in. Whereas next week when they play Washington, that can be a little bit more of a challenging game. But give me the Falcons to win over the Giants, who are pretty much just punting away the season.
Yeah, the Giants are horrible. Good for you, Penix. Let's see what you got, bro. This is your time to shine. Make it happen. Cardinals at 7-7. Panthers at 3-11. The only time you want 3-11 is they're a good band. That's it with music. I like that. But not a good record to have. Darren, the Cardinals coming in here. So you say there's a chance?
Yeah, I think for the Cardinals, they got a long shot, but their path to the playoffs is pretty much going to need to involve winning the NFC West.
Yeah.
As much as I'd like to see the Panthers win this one, I think the Cardinals are going to win this just because Cardinals can't afford a loss to this. Just because they'll eventually have a short week when they play the Rams in Los Angeles because the two teams are playing on Saturday night.
Yeah, which is crazy.
I do flex in the prime time.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes you need a flex. I mean, Taryn, what were we going to have this week? We were going to have freaking, Bengals Browns on Thursday night?
Yeah, and then that eventually got flexed out of prime time, which I didn't even know Thursday night games could get flexed out. And that got flexed for Chargers Broncos.
The NFL was like, we can't have this. That game would suck. They wouldn't have no viewers. And Amazon, maybe Bezos had something to say about that one, dude. I don't know. But that game wasn't going to be good at all. So, Cardinals win this game for sure, though. I think this is just going to continue to go towards them. Let's see what they can build for. Let's see if they once again, it's a lot for them to be able to get in the playoffs. But so you're saying there's a chance. Regardless, this was the Thursday night football game. Turned out to not be the Thursday night football game. The 3-11 Browns taking on the 6-8 Bengals. This game sucks every which way. This game was good a couple of years ago for the first time in a very long time. This is usually the Suck Bowl. And guess what? It's back to being the Suck Bowl. Taryn, what do you think?
Yeah, I got the Bengals winning this one. They have a slim chance of making the playoffs, but they have to win out, and it starts with this one. And they can't afford to look ahead to next week because if they look ahead, then they will be toast, and Cleveland will probably have their way.
Agreed. Yeah, Cleveland needs. I don't know. Cleveland just needs a lot of work, but overall, the Bengals should win this game. They're do not see them going anywhere after the season. Obviously, regardless, though, good job for at least being, I think, this good. 6-8. I don't know if that's anything to be proud of, but I don't know. They've fallen apart, man. And it sucks because all the talent on that team. So let's see what happens.
Exactly.
It sucks. It really does. What the hell happened to these guys, man? It's hard watching.
They just don't have a defense. Their defense is pitiful.
Yeah. It's rough, man. It's rough seeing these guys play. So next up, man, the Titans and the Colts. Titans come in at 3-11. Colts come in at 6-8. Both these teams are pretty much washed. At least the AFC is already kind of situated. Colts aren't winning this thing. I mean, Colts aren't getting in there. I don't know. This is kind of a rough. What do you think about this game, Taryn?
Yeah, I think the Colts will win. Again, they have a very favorable schedule with the Titans, Giants, and the Jaguars. But honestly, the Colts aren't going to get in. Their playoff hopes were dashed when they lost to the Broncos last week. So give me the Colts to win, but I think they're playoff fate is sealed.
Yeah, and the Titans, you still suck. Okay, anyway,
Yeah.
Lions coming in after a tough loss to the Bills. They're 12-2. Teran, did they get all the losses out for the season now? Is that it? Is this the losses that you would rather have in the regular season and not in the playoffs or the Super Bowl? Because here it is, man, 12-2. Obviously, they're probably going to decimate the Bears today, who are at 4-10. Regardless, though, I don't know, Teran. The Lions are looking scary right now because, like I said, they just took a couple losses. They got their 2 losses. Is this it? Is this the time where the freaking Lions get it in gear and make a run for the bowl? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, the Lions, they're going to win, but they are getting decimated all over the place. Their defense has been decimated. David Montgomery is out pretty much for a good chunk of time. I don't know if they have Jahmyr Gibbs. So I think the Lions will win, but knowing the Bears, they'll probably keep it close.
Yeah.
But the Lions definitely need to win just because they're not only fighting for the number 1 seed, they're fighting for their division because right behind them is the Minnesota Vikings. And if the Lions lose another game and the Vikings get hot the remainder of the season, then the Lions could be playing on the road.
And that is so huge. Let's see, man. Come on. Back up. Step it up. You know what I mean? Like this is
Lions really got to show up and show out. The Bears are just playing for pride at this point, and they're playing for a better pick unless they don't have one this year.
Yeah, that's a different story. But let's see what the Lions got, man. See who steps up and makes it happen. Vikings at Seahawks. And we aren't talking about Grandview and Kaiser.
Right.
Minnesota Vikings, Seattle Seahawks. The Vikings come in at 12-2. Seahawks coming in at 8-6. Teran, this is a good football game. I love this football game because you're right. The Vikes have gotten better, but show us something. Can you get it done? Let's see. The Seahawks, 8-6. They're fighting like hell to get in. Teran, this is a fun game.
Yeah, this is a crucial game for Seattle, especially since next week they have a short week as they play the Bears. But I think for Minnesota, they win this one. I think Seattle's been too inconsistent. I think Seattle showed their cracks when they played the Packers last week. And Geno Smith obviously isn't 100%. He's going to play, but I think Minnesota will feast all over the Seahawks. And Minnesota, they're fighting for their division and maybe for the number 1 seed as well. So Minnesota, they play their cards right. They could be maybe the number 1 seed, but they got to take care of business against Seattle first. And they got a very tough schedule. They've got Seattle this week, then they've got Green Bay next week, and then Detroit in week 18, which could be the game of the week flexed into prime time. That or Seahawks Rams.
I'm almost positive it's going to be one of those two. You took the words out of my mouth. No, agreed, man. This is a good one here. Man, the Vikings there's so much there. The Seahawks, though, have just been looking kind of weird. That's the hard part.
Yeah, they're up and down.
I want to pick them so bad because I want to see more drama in the NFL with this playoffs, but I think the Vikings will win this game.
If Pete Carroll was still coaching, I'd maybe give Seattle a better chance.
Right?
But I think Minnesota will have their way, especially since Kevin O'Connell knows the Seattle Seahawks game plan. Because remember, he was a former assistant or a former coordinator for the Rams.
Right, he was. Well, Jaguars, Raiders.
Oh, no.
Next up, we have the Patriots and the Bills. So, yeah, this game sucks. 3-11 versus 2-12. This is let's see if we can get the higher
Super Toilet Bowl.
Yeah, the Super Toilet. It's like the one that, this is one of those toilets that's like, I don't even know how to say it.
Except the plunger, the whole plunger.
Yeah, dude, this is like one of those toilets in the airplane that suck with extreme suck.
Yeah.
I know what
you're talking about.
Yeah, Teran, this is horrible. This is the worst game ever. I mean, what do you get out of this? You know what I mean? This is just this is public humility. I don't even know what these teams should sue the NFL for humiliation. Don't air this game. I'm just kidding. This game sucks every which way. I don't even know what to say about it. It just sucks.
Yeah, I'm surprised ticket prices aren't as low as $10. The ticket prices are as low as $50, which is sad because who would want to pay $50 to watch two sub 500, two bottom dwellers pretty much do battle. I mean, Jets tickets are as low as $9,
Damn!
and that has more meaning to it. Whereas this game, $50 just to see a 2-13 team take on a 3-12 team. Seriously, you should be getting paid to watch these games, not paying to watch these games. But that being said, this is so tough to pick. I'm going to pick the Jaguars. I'm sorry to say this, Larry, but no Max Crosby. They're starting Desmond Ridder. I think their only bright spot would be Brock Bowers and maybe Jacoby Myers and whatnot. So I got to go with Jacksonville. This is going to be one ugly game, but I think Jacksonville ekes this one out in the ugliest of fashion.
Yeah, I mean, well, no Trevor Lawrence, no Evan Ingram. Look, regardless, this game is horrible. We're seriously watching like the Senior Bowl with professional uniforms on. Like, I mean, this is not even this. This is the Shrine game, Teran. This is the East-West Shrine Bowl. This is
true.
This is terrible. I mean, this is now those games are good at least because those guys are fighting to get in. These guys who are like the guys who just got in, they're like, hey, we get to play. Yeah, like. This game sucks. Of course, I'm taking the Raiders because I've got to pick them every week, but they suck. This game sucks. And Jacksonville wins. Ha ha to you, Raiders. I'm sorry. This is sad. So anyway, enough of this nonsense.
Put this game on Nickelodeon, please. Well, actually, no, that's harsh to say because kids shouldn't be subjected to watch that. So. No,
these poor kids. Don't do that to those kids, man.
Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
No, put this on. Just don't air it. I'm sorry. This is sad. Like, yeah, this is this is sad. Anyway, dude. Next up, we have a pretty crappy game too. The Bills. Well, the Patriots taking on the Bills. The Bills at 3-11. Bills at 11-3. This is going to be so lopsided. Is there anything to say about this?
Yeah, Bills need all the wins they can get to keep pace for the number 1 seed. They've locked up the AFC East already, so. Give me the Bills to thump the Patriots. Patriots at this point, they pretty much got to just pack it up for the season and just play for pride.
Exactly. You are totally right. And yeah, this is just, let's go Bills. 49ers at the Dolphins. Another game that's just sucky. I get it. They're mathematically still in, but they're both 6-8. They're not making, neither of these teams are making the playoffs.
This was supposed to be a pretty good game, but then both teams pretty much got derailed because of injury. So This game is pretty garbage. But look, this is pretty much an elimination game for either of these teams because whoever loses is pretty much out of the playoffs. I mean, San Francisco maybe has a sliver of a chance, but no, I don't think they do because they don't have the tiebreaker over the Rams, and it'll be a mirror. And even though they split with the Seahawks, I'm pretty sure the Seahawks have the tiebreaker over the Niners, especially if they at least win one more game. God, I don't think San Francisco is going to have a game like they did last week, but neither will Miami. But I got to go with San Francisco. I think they're the safer pick.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just going to go Dolphins just for the hell of it. Why not?
It's so tough to project this game because both teams have been ravaged by injuries.
Yeah.
Their offenses haven't lived up to their expectations, especially last week. Their quarterbacks just have been questionable as of late.
Yep.
And this is going to be the battle of who wants to get more false hope. Because even if one of these teams do win, then they could still be eliminated. Like if Miami wins, they could still probably be eliminated. I don't think that's the truth just because they would still need to win out and the Broncos to lose out. So I'm not even if the team wins this game, they still need a lot of help the rest of the way.
So true. So Teran, here it is, dude. Sunday Night Football. Buccaneers 8-6. Cowboys 6-8. This sucks too. The Buccaneers are going to freaking walk all over these guys. The Cowboys are just horrible. Jerry's going to watch his team lose another game. This is just Micah Parsons is going to be pissed off again. Teran, I don't even know what to say about this game, dude, but the Cowboys are just terrible. And the Buccaneers, they've actually been, in my opinion, a little bit disappointing this year, but they should win this game.
Yeah, Tampa Bay should win this one. At least Dallas is letting the ticket prices be as low as $19, unlike
I
certain
love how you look at
games
the
like the
prices. I
Raiders,
love this.
Jaguars, and whatnot. So give me the Bucks to beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys season is pretty much done. I think one loss to Tampa Bay pretty much knocks them out of playoff contention. The Bucks are red hot, and I bet you if they win this game, they're pretty much in the clear to win the NFC South because they have a very favorable schedule ahead. While the Falcons have Washington next week, and then
crazy.
Carolina.
That's crazy.
And then, I just think that Tampa Bay is in a prime position. And remember, Tampa Bay is one game up. As long as they don't tie or have the same record with the Falcons, they should be fine because the Falcons did sweep the season series.
That's right. They did. So there it is, Teran. Sunday Night Football. And one more grueling game here. Just kidding. The Saints taking on the Packers. The Saints coming in at 5-9. The Packers at 10-4. These games are just, I guess the NFL gets thrown out of gas right now. It's like, we have to play the rest of these games. We have to. But this is just kind of the Saints are crap. The Packers have been playing amazing. Of course, I got the Packers all day on Monday night. But what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going with the Packers as well. Packers, after this, they've got the Vikings, and then they've got the Bears. They're still in contention for the NFC North. It's just that they're going to need a load of help in order to win that. New Orleans, I don't even think has been on primetime this season. I think this is their first primetime game of the season. And, man, it couldn't have come at a worse time because even though they're not mathematically eliminated, they're pretty much eliminated. They'd have to win the NFC South to find their way into the postseason. But, I got Green Bay winning this one by a metric mile. I think Green Bay they're going to flatten New Orleans. And New Orleans is starting Spencer Rattler, so that's all you need to know. And I don't think they're going to have Alvin Kamara and whatnot. Taysom Hill's out. Derek Carr's out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what more needs to be said?
I wish I knew. I have no idea, Teran, but dude. So anyway, man. Well, there you have it. Teran, what the hell? This is like a dud. I don't even know what to say. Some of these games are just so.
These are the leftover games from Thanksgiving.
They are.
We're now entering leftover territory following Thanksgiving.
This is so sad, but well, Teran, I guess there's only one thing left to do, bro, and that's cue that music, man. But it's been fun. Let's get into these playoff games today. But Teran, we're gonna get back on air. Maybe Monday night, maybe Christmas Eve early. I don't know if you're free. To recap and, of course, give our little picks for the Christmas games. That should be fun. Do a little Christmas coming up. Chiefs, Steelers, Ravens, and Texans. Kind of funny how they flip-flop on the, from Saturday and Sunday. But anyway, dude, it's been fun, man. We got some good games to play today, obviously, in the college football playoff. Any last thoughts, comments, anything for this week?
Nothing. Let's just enjoy a good weekend of football. I'm excited for this, and I think we're going to have ourselves a fun weekend for good and for bad.
Yeah, me too, dude. I agree. We're going to have ourselves some fun. This is going to be hopefully a good week. I hope so. Because, come on, dude. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, coming up today, we got not Hutchinson. They already won. Coming up today, the NAIA Championship. Keep it locked, man, because we're going to be posting it right here on these two. Of course, you can follow me there, but follow the 2, 3, and out accounts, man. Follow my boy Teran all up here. But, of course, hopefully, these links come out today, like this championship game. We'll put this thing up today, see if that comes up. Of course, the Division 3 championships are the semifinals. Follow along there. We'll see if we can put those up for you as well. The Division 2 championship coming up in just a little bit, of course, coming on up, and the semifinals of the FCS. Bowl games coming on up on Monday. We're continuing those things, and hey, we're just going to keep on doing our thing. So anyway, Teran and I will get together, and we'll talk about a time to come back, during the week before Christmas for sure, and give you our picks for Christmas, and of course, a recap of these bowl games and playoff games that we played today, and a recap of Week 16 of the NFL, because judging by all the crap you just saw, half these games are going to suck. So if you want to spend time with family and friends and enjoy it, this is a good week to do that, because football's not going to be very good in the NFL this week again. But like I said, we got to finish. Okay, you got to throw out the left. You don't want it to waste food, but sometimes you just got to throw out. Some of this has got mold on it. Some of this you got to heat up and eat. Teran, you are totally right. The leftovers this week is totally that. Last week too, but anyway, once again, ladies and gentlemen, you can follow my boy Teran Rodriguez, and the number 1. You can follow me, your boy Larry B at the THE_LB53. Shout out to our awesome sponsors. Remember, 15% off Vital Apparel, IESR, 15% off, man. Awesome, inspiring gym wear that supports mental health. Of course, Planet Jerky. Big ups to them. Seal the Deal, Wax Seals, and all of you listening today. We appreciate you all so very much. That is going to do it for our show today, guys. For Teran, for me, boy Larry B. We'll see you next week. Until then, take care. As always, God bless.
Peace.
Peace.